Good evening, everybody. Good evening. This is your boy Doc Holiday. We back. We are back with another HBCU OverDrive, where HBCUs matter. If you haven't done it by now, make sure that you like the stream. Make sure that you comment, share. Most of all, subscribe. Subscribe, man. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to everything that we do on here. I promise you, if you come and you watch and you interact with everybody, you interact with us. This show is going to be you'll never be disappointed. What's going on, Coach Simmons? What's going on? So man, look, I ain't gonna beat around the bush. I'm just gonna get up into it. So I'm just gonna I'm gonna put it out there like this. What's next for Jackson State? What is next for Jackson State? So you have a couple of players that is going to the NFL draft. You got players like Aubrey Miller, Isaiah Bolden. You have Dallas Daniels going in. I'm trying to figure out who else is going in. Nugget Warren is going into the draft. So I think it's one more. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's Dimitri Jordan. If I'm not mistaken, he's going into the draft. So yeah, excuse me. I just finished eating. That's the reason why I'm late. So you got those kids going into the draft, and hopefully they'll be able to get picked up by somebody. Hopefully that they shoot for the stars and do what they got to do. You know what I'm saying? But I will say this as far as them entering the draft. What's going on for us? So we gotta, the whole thing about it is that when you go into the draft, and I'm just saying this like this, going into the draft, it's an interview. It is an interview. It is for you to interview with either one, two, or all 32 teams in the league. Also to see what your measurables are. So you have to treat this like if you are going on a job, like a literal, like a real job interview. You have to treat it like that. You can't treat it no other way. You have to treat it like you're going on a job interview. You have to treat it like this. Your life depends on it, and somebody gonna take your cookie away, basically. And what I mean by that is, when they interview you, be presentable, be cordial, be presentable, speak clearly. I know sometimes we speak something like this, but in a sense, we speak in a sense of like we talking to our friends or parents and stuff like that. But you're going for an actual job, so so we're going. You're going for an actual job interview. You have to treat it more like You have to treat it more like if you was interviewing for the CEO of IBM. Let's just say for example, IBM or Apple. Put it just like that. CEO of Apple. You have to take it real serious. You got to be well presented, and you got to be well versed. Because when you go in there, you're not only just representing you, but you also represent your family, and you also represent the school that you come from. So make sure when you go into those interviews, those draft interviews, knock them out the park and be respectful and be presentable, because when you do that, our school reputation is on the line. So with that being said, I like to wish those kids, those guys well going into those interviews, going into the draft, especially with these all-star games coming up, East-West Shrine Game, Senior Bowl, Legacy Bowl. like all these different games that's coming up. Make sure y'all go in there and y'all knock it out the park, y'all. Y'all knock it out the park. But for others, and I'm gonna just like this. I would say it just like this. Um, for others, I'm gonna put it just like this. Most of the kids, and I'm gonna tell you just like this. Jackson State has been gutted on both sides of the ball as far as start offense and starting defense, right? From what I'm hearing, we have a total of probably 35 kids that went into the portal. Now, you know your usual suspects, Shador, Shiloh, and Travis are all in the portal. Shador and Shiloh are already at Colorado. Yeah, I got another guy, Cole Cosatron. He went into the portal. He's already picked up by Colorado too, because he's close to Arizona. He's close to his home state. Katron Evans went into the portal. He got picked up by UNC Charlotte this week. So other kids that went into the portal, as far as Cam Sim and Craig, Barry Hobson, Jeremiah Brown, John Huggins. Let's see who else went into the portal. Big Country is in the portal. What's going on, AP? And most of those kids, and then on the offensive side, you really didn't see. The only other person that went into the portal on offense that's a skilled player was Kevin Coleman. So they came in, they went in and just to test the water. Some of them are coming back now. Some of those kids are coming back. TC has been able to talk to the kids along with their parents and let there are a lot of kids. Like there are almost probably like 13,000 kids in the transfer portal, y'all. And only probably like maybe like 30% of those kids would get picked up by other schools. So you have a couple of options. You can go through the JUCO route, be able to go to JUCO, get you some playing time, get you some film, and then transfer to maybe a group, a G5 or a Power 5 school. Two, you can always go the D2, D3, NAIA route. Though, I promise you, NFL, XFL, USFL, whatever league that's out there, they don't care where you at. They're going to come look for you. You make noise, they're going to come look for you, regardless. And the last but not least, and last but not least, get my words right, y'all. You can always go back to your original school. And that's what we see right now with some players that's going back, that's here. And I got Mr. Ford. How you doing, Mr. Ford?
Hey, can you hear me, Doc?
Yes, sir.
Okay, hold on. Let's get it together. Hey, yeah.
So we got. I was talking to I'm talking about the transfer portal and what's the good things about it, what's the bad things about it. The good thing about it is the school could come pick you up within maybe a couple of hours or maybe a day or two. The bad thing is you can still be sitting in there. and not have a school to go to at all, and waste away your your.
Am I on twice, Doc?
Yeah, you're on twice. I'm gonna
Okay,
remove.
hold on.
All right, you're good. All right, can you hear me?
Yeah, hold on one. Okay, let's see, Doc. Let's.
But as far as what I'm looking at is these kids are, most of them are getting picked up, and then most of them are just sitting there waiting on for something kind of, something to shake, something to happen. Can you hear me, Miss Ford? I think he's trying to fix this thing. So my whole thing about that is that sometimes you have to swallow your pride and go for what you know, and be able to kind of say, well, maybe I need to go lower to a lower division if they'll look at me from there, or I can kind of go back to where I started from. So a lot of people, what's going on, me at Mike? So a lot of people is actually trying to see what the options are. That's all it is. You trying to find somewhere to go, see where your options is, and you just fall from there, y'all. All right, I think I got Mr. Ford back. Yeah, Sean. All right. Can you hear me, Mr. Ford?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm looking at Sean said Portal is a dangerous space, especially for people who don't have the film. Some folks hoping in off the school's names with no production versus people with tons of production. That is true. If you don't have no film, like practice film don't count. Practice film don't count. Practice film, these coaches nowadays need hard game film to see where you can improve at, to see what your where you're good at. It's basically an evaluation. But I know from yesterday, as far as like 40 kids was in the portal from Jackson State. And I know some of them are coming back. So we got word earlier today that Kendrick Wiggins, he went into the portal yesterday. He talked to TC. TC talked to him and his parents. He took himself out of the portal, and he's back. He's going back to Jackson. Also, from what I heard, is Debo on the offensive line. Debo Hayes.
Right. Yeah.
He was in the portal. TC out there doing it. TC and Coach O doing their magic, and he took his name out of the portal. He's back at Jackson State, And from what I heard now, Evan Henry is back is coming back to Jackson. So TC out there doing what he can do. He's doing it. He's doing his job. He's doing his job. He's out there trying to make sure that he can get the kids to stay. To stay within the program. And my whole thing is you lost the Celebration Bowl, y'all. And it left a bad, you know what I'm saying? It left a bad taste in your mouth. And it's not just the first time. This is the second time. So do you want to get that bad taste out and try to go back for a third time and see if you can win it with TC? Or do you want to take your ball and go home?
Well, the most important thing right now, Doc, is to get a staff. He's got to get a championship staff together. The most important, the foundation is the staff. He's got to get a staff. Mm-hmm. Now, right now, who's on the staff? Can you name the people that's on the staff? I just heard you talk about Coach O.
Coach O, I don't know if Coach Ricard is still there. I know Coach Markinson just went to Colorado.
Oh, he did?
Yep.
Well, Coach O can get that offensive line there.
Mm-hmm. So I think Coach, like you and from what I'm hearing, he got some lists. So he got names, he got a list. So and it's people that's he's interviewing right now. So the whole thing is he'll probably have a staff right either before New Year's or a couple of days after New Year's.
Now, are they planning on signing in the kids tomorrow, or are they going to wait?
I've been in. Some kids contacted me, and they've been asking about getting talking to the coaches. I'm like, I'm not a coach. Right. I'm just a brother to do a podcast. But now I can send it over to them. Right. But it's all, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I told them it's all on you. But I know it should be a couple of kids that should be signing tomorrow. Because I heard
Florida A&M is doing work, man.
Oh yeah. FAMU is doing work. They're doing a lot of work, and I commend them on that too.
Yeah, I heard they got one big 6'5" defensive lineman, about 230, 240, coming in from Kansas, I believe. Not from a junior college in Kansas, maybe Hutchinson or somewhere. I have to look it up. And okay. I heard they got some high school kids, some backs coming in, and maybe some wide receivers coming in.
Right. Now, I know for a fact that we picked up a transfer out of Watford today.
Yeah, I think I heard that too. Yeah. Now, what's his position?
Running back.
Running back. Yeah, I think I heard that too. I didn't see any film on it, but I did hear that. Yeah.
Oh, he got good film. Film. So he got a little speed. He's a stocky kid, like 5'10", 2, look like 5'10", 220.
Okay.
So yeah, from what I heard, the 4-star kid, the receiver, he's committing tomorrow. I know a couple of kids is committing tomorrow. The one kid from Delaware State, he's doing his commitment on Christmas. Is that Christmas Eve or Christmas Day?
Mm-hmm.
So he's sent. Yeah, it's on Christmas Eve. So he had sent me a link to it, so that way I could cover it. But there's a lot of kids that he didn't he looked at, but he overlooked them. maybe because they was in high school, maybe because that he felt like they wasn't going to be able to I guess be able to kind of do anything to help out the team. But these kids are getting their offers, and most of them probably gonna commit tomorrow, and then I know the rest of them should be in February.
Right. February be the heavy signing. They'll probably sign a few tomorrow. Yeah, that's what I was hearing. I know the kid from Texas A&M, kid from St. Louis. I heard he's coming back, right?
Which one?
He was wearing number 22.
Oh, Antonio Doyle?
Yeah, I heard he's coming back, right?
I think he should be back. I don't think he was in the portal in the first place.
Oh, okay.
Mercier is going to the draft.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Yeah, I heard he was going to the draft.
So so some of the defense is still there. Some of the defense is still gonna be there. I know Tavion Beasley is in the portal. He's probably gonna try to go somewhere back home on the West Coast. Also, Herman Smith is in the portal too.
Yeah, I heard that. I heard Herman was in there. Yeah.
So, but if TC can get in touch with them by Christmas time and kind of talk to him and Coach O and let them know, like, hey, we got to run this thing back because I can't leave. I can't leave with a bad taste in my mouth.
Right.
So I feel like he'll talk to them. So he's doing his. I mean, TC doing his job, and most of those kids love TC.
Okay.
Okay. Sean said may see Beasley and Herman in Boulder.
Yeah, it was Herman Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah, Herman came on this year. I really liked him. That's a kid from San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was wearing 19, right?
Yep.
Yeah, he was a solid DB. I liked him. Now I liked him at the safety spot more than I did I think he tried to play a little slot corner. I didn't really see him at the corner spot, but I do remember him playing kind of strong in the middle of the field. I liked him. I liked Herman.
Right. And then you got Beasley Beasley came in as a nickel. Then he came on.
What was Beasley's number?
Beasley was 28.
Yeah, I remember him. I remember Beasley. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he came on. He came on good in the Southern game. He came on great in the Southern game.
Yeah, I remember him.
So that the thing is about it is just the transfer portal. It can give and it could give and it could take.
What about the Wiggins, number 5? Did he come back or what did he do?
That was the first person who came back.
Yeah, he was tough. That's number 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was tough. Yeah, got good explosion. Yeah, I remember him.
Yeah. Yep, because if he didn't come back, we wouldn't have like all of our DB. Pretty much majority of the DBs would have been gone.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, or either started or had some sort of contribution on the field this year. It would have been wiped out.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna tell you, a lot of people are waiting to see what TC staff is gonna look like now. They're waiting to see, who's going to be the offense coordinator. Now Weeks is still there, right?
From what I heard, he's still there.
Okay, yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Everybody's waiting to see what this staff. I know I am, because if I see the staff, I can tell you about what they're gonna do now. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah.
Because to me, the first thing is you got to put that championship staff together.
Yeah. So, I mean, and then that portal, like I said, the portal is brutal. Like, you don't want to be sitting in there and you don't have anywhere to go. And if you bite, you don't swallow your pride and don't bite your tongue, you're just going to be sitting there. So
Yeah.
the main thing I want to talk about is the Renaissance. This is what I really want to talk about. Can we continue the athletic renaissance in HBCU sports, y'all?
Did you want me to reply?
Yeah, you can reply.
Oh, without a doubt. I think this is the beginning. I was telling some people today, I think next season going to be better than this season. I think we have to understand there's a movement in this country right now. People who've decided that man's water is no colder than our water. Matter of fact, our water is colder. And they have decided that they're coming back to their schools. You know, see, I came up during a period in the 60s when I saw the best athletes in the country. They were at HBCUs. Same thing in the 70s. And then it was in the 80s when we saw that exodus from the HBCUs, and we didn't have the abundance of prospects that we had in the 60s and 70s. But I think it's coming back. I think we're now probably in the 70s again. My complaint right now, and I keep telling people, we're getting top tier athletes. Our problem,
Right.
we don't have top tier coaching. Now, right now, I argue with anybody. Florida A&M in the SWAC has the best coaching staff. Okay, right. And that's my pet peeve right now is we've got to get better coaching. We've got to get championship coaching at these schools in the SWAC. We're
Right.
getting the athletes. We're getting the athletes. We're getting athletes who have pro potential. But hey, the thing you have to understand is that pro potential, it has to be developed. And you have to have coaches who can develop it. All right.
Right.
And so that's my complaint right now. I think the biggest need in the SWAC right now is championship coaching. So will this HBCU Renaissance continue? Without a doubt.
Yep. So my thing about this is if we get the players back, and what you're saying we need to get the coaching.
Right.
How do we, I mean, other than when we had HBCU Go and HBCU League Pass and also the ESPN networks, what would be another form of way to showcase our abilities, our skills, our culture, our, everything to the masses, to everybody?
That's not going to be hard. We had a great showing last Saturday. We had 2.4 million viewers.
Yep.
I think HBCU football. Now that's another thing about basketball. We got to get our Our basketball is as low as it can go. We got to do something about this basketball. But our football is attractive. Now here's the thing, and I keep saying this: we got to pay these people. We can't do this. What I call starvation wages stuff. Somebody was telling me about the wages. I think Perry was talking about the wages at Pine Bluff and what they're paying. That's ridiculous. If that's true what he said, that's ridiculous. You calling yourself Division I, you calling yourself FCS in football, and you paying that. Listen, I work with teachers right now who would, if that's what Perry said is true, they would be making more than the coach at Pine Bluff. That's ridiculous. Because let me tell you something, Pine Bluff has $7 million to spend on athletics. It makes no sense for them to be paying. Now, like I said, I don't know if this, I just heard Perry say this, and he was talking about $120,000 and $40,000 for a position coach and all that.
Wow.
Now, they ought to be ashamed of themselves. You got $7 million to spend on athletics, and you talking about you're going to pay your head coach $120,000? That's crazy. The guy that's at my high school in my hometown, that guy's making over $150,000 at a high school as a head coach.
Yeah.
I mean, his assistants are making almost 90. So this whole thing of this starvation wages stuff, that's got to go. That's ridiculous. Right. No. We gotta. If we gonna get good coaching, you got to pay these people. You got to pay these people.
So yeah, I'm gonna say congratulations to Quinn Gray for being the head coach.
Oh, Quinn's gonna do wonders down at Auburn State. Yep. Let me tell you something. Quinn is a disciple of his name was Billy Joe. Let me tell you something. They got three. You got 90 SIAC. You got Quinn Gray at Auburn State. You got Sean Gibbs at Fort Valley State, and you got Chennis Berry at Benedict. That's three top coaches. Them guys right there, to be honest with you, should either be in the SWAC or the MEAC as head coaches.
And so the way I want to see, like the way the Renaissance can continue, and I want to see if I can put this on here. I'm gonna bring Michael in. Hey, Mike, you got to turn your camera off.
I didn't know it was on, Doc. What about now?
Okay. You good? So I'm gonna play this clip if I can find it, and whenever it stopped loading, I'm buffering, but this is coming from. Hello?
Hey, Doc, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
You said something about Renaissance, about and the SWAC, right? I didn't see a lot of.
What I'm saying, not just the SWAC, but with HBCUs overall. I'm talking about everybody.
Okay. Hey, this person right here, John Horace, you said don't forget about Reginald Ruffin. Ruffin is going to be only the AD starting in 2023. I think they're going to take the.
Okay, so he's staying from coaching.
He's going to take the head coaching job and give it to a former quarterback of theirs. I can't remember his name, but he's going to be head coach. Reggie is going to be the AD and AD on. Now the word is that Tuskegee is looking at is considering jumping to the SWAC. Now I don't know how true that is, but that's the word we have up here, that they are considering going SWAC.
Man, they talking about going SWAC, guy. That would be nice. That'd be a third team in Alabama.
Yeah, but the only problem is their facilities. They got to upgrade that football field. I think it's Abbott Field or Alumni Field. That thing, no lights. It's just got to be upgraded. It's got to be upgraded. It's a great place to play. You can. I mean, it's almost like going to. It's like going to the park. You can even pull your Winnebagos up in the state, but they got to do some work on that stadium. Right. The SWAC needs to require that they do some work. Aaron James, that's him. That's going to be the new head coach at Tuskegee. I remember when he played for Tuskegee. Yeah, that's right.
So he's a young coach?
James. Huh?
He's a young coach?
Yeah, he was at one time the offensive coordinator at Miles. He also did a stint at Bethune-Cookman. I think this year he was the offensive coordinator, head coach in waiting, and now he's going to be the head coach.
Okay, let me see something.
Hey, Mr. Ford, you and Doc said something earlier. You said something earlier about the HBCU, Doc. I don't see a lot of offensive linemen. I don't see a lot of offensive linemen in the HBCU, far as the big linemen that get drafted into the NFL. I think I was reading a couple articles this morning and yesterday. HBCUs need a whole overall revitalization of their structure. I'm gonna send you this. I want you to check out this article by Tyrone Wheatley. Well, it's not by Tyrone Wheatley. It's by William Roden. But William Roden,
I love William.
William Roden interviewed Tyrone Wheatley, and he interviewed Morgan State president. And I want to say something about that. It was a show you and I was on yesterday, and people were taking pop shots, you know, which I don't take personal, but they don't know my background. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And I hope Ken is listening. I sat down with Giants, Doc, and the programs they done, and the feet I sat at from Dr. Leon Sullivan.
Right. Yeah. Remember Dr. Sullivan? Yeah.
Vernon Jordan. Congressman Bill Gray.
Yeah.
They wasn't just Philadelphia legends. They were global legends.
Right.
Around economic structure building. I came up in all these dudes' programs.
Mm-hmm.
And they were such giants. They didn't go to the government to bring home Nelson Mandela. And if they know the history of the South, it was my leader, my teacher, that taught Dr. King and the leaders in the South on economics. And when Dr. King and them put together Southern Christian leadership, it was Dr. Sullivan that tutored them. This is why King had a pivot about economics.
Right.
You understand? So
yeah, we know Dr. Sullivan. Yeah.
Them dudes talk slick.
We called him Reverend Sullivan.
Reverend Sullivan, right.
Right, we called him Reverend.
Slick. But I don't say too much. My religion calls me to stay humble. But when it comes to this work here, I knock them down like bowling pins, man. This work is a different type of work. It doesn't matter if you have financial literacy, it helps you. If you have an economic background, it helps you. If you have been in administration, the key is, like Tyrone Whitley said in a statement, with Primetime just recently said, now when I've been saying to 2013, these folks do not understand how this business go. And the structure, anybody can talk about structure. The question is, what type of structure? And then you can ask questions if you understand this work. See, I didn't need Dion. I was doing this work before Dion came on the scene. But Dion manifested into a bigger picture to get exposure. You hear me, Mr. Ford?
Yeah. I mean, it's a given. We've always had problems at our black schools with mismanagement. I've always said not only are our schools mismanaged, but our athletic departments are mismanaged. The other thing I've said over and over is that I can say that there are about out of the 12 presidents in the SWAC, I can say that about 4 or 5 of them are totally committed. I tell people, I don't know this lady that's at Texas Southern. I don't know if she's committed. The person that's at Prairie View, I don't know if that person, if she's committed. I do know
as far as you're talking about Prairie View, Prairie View's about to get a new president. So
yeah, they got a lady coming in. I think she's from the East Coast or been on the East Coast. I can't remember what's her undergraduate, but I don't know her yet. Now you take the 2 presidents in Alabama, they're fully committed. You're talking about President Williams, you talk about President Ross, they're fully committed. The lady at Alcorn, I don't have good feelings about her. I do feel good about President Hudson. The person that's the president at Mississippi Valley, I can't say anything. The big question mark down there at FAMU, I tell people all the time, Willie Simmons is a great coach, but his biggest problem is his president. It's a big mess down there at Bethune-Cookman. Yeah. And so I say all of this to say that economics is our problem. And the other problem that we have, we're not fully organized. And that's been a problem with us. Marcus Garvey talked about that in the early 1920s about our community not being organized. And we still have that problem today. We're not organized. And we definitely don't know economics. We got $2 trillion of discretionary income, and then we always begging for the things that we need. If we got $2 trillion of economic income. Why is Morris Brown begging for money? Why we got all these foreigners running businesses in our communities?
That's easy, and Mr. Ford, that's easy. But the thing is, even if you look at Morris Brown, right, which is a private college,
yeah,
right, we have to understand when you put structure together, we are not monolithic people, and we trying to put everybody in one bag, and you can't. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You can't put everybody in one bag. So what you do is the region that you're in, you create what they call driven markets. You can't put everybody. Why? Because when you go against HBCUs, you got Baptist HBCUs, you got Methodist HBCUs, you got AME, you have different HBCUs, private, public, state institutions. So you're not going to be able to put everybody in the same refrigerator. So the thing is, you have to understand what are structures, what do you structure to when you're dealing with that particular school. Now, when you're talking about building a whole umbrella around HBCUs, all HBCUs are not the same. They total different. They're not nowhere near the same. And I only learned that by me going to them HBCUs, visiting them. So when we try to put this big magnetic community together, this is where we run it. And then the problem also, Mr. Ford, you having people trying to do this work is not qualified, capable of doing this work. We have a lot of unqualified people, and it's not just HBCUs, it's across the whole sector of Black America. And we think because they have PhDs and doctorate degrees and all these, that's fine, that help. But if you're not able and qualified to do this work, then you can't be in that seat. And that's what we do. We have a lot of people with different degrees, but they're not able and qualified to be in these seats when you're talking about building different structures. So you can ask these dudes, and they can talk about structure all day long. So you ask them, what structure are you talking about? What type of structure? Their answer is going to let you know whether or not they know what they're talking about, or they heard somebody, or they're repeating, or what they heard somebody say. So when you look at JSU lost the 2 Celebration Bowls, right? That's fine, but look how far they came. So now you're building a winning program. If you're going to turn JSU into a championship program, championship programs take 7 years or longer. When I look at the coaches that left Philly, the man that coached Gino that coached UConn, when he got to UConn from Philly, it took him a minute to build his culture, to bring in the players he needed to build a championship. Same way Muffy did at Notre Dame. It took her a minute to bring in the players, to change the culture, to bring in. And when you look at doing at South Carolina, it take a minute to bring in who you want, the kind of program you want to build a championship. I think JSU is on the road, and it is not to put your hat down that you lost to Trey Oliver and Buddy Pugh. Why? Together, they have 70 years of coaching experience. But what JSU can build, JSU, if they keep building, they can which if Prime would have stayed there, JSU and eventually would have outgrew the entire HBCU.
I think they still can.
Right.
Now, personally, to me, that's why I keep harping on this, and I've said this over and over. If TC gets a championship staff, he will surpass what Prime did. It's possible.
I believe,
because, like I'm telling you, the best is yet to come. I think that next season in the SWAC will be better than the season we just had.
What you mean? Prime only can win with the Celebration Bowl. Now, if TC win the Celebration Bowl, then he achieved what Prime done. But had Prime stayed at JSU, there's no doubt that they was going to start getting top 5 linemen in the country to come to JSU.
But here's the thing: he didn't want to stay. He didn't want to stay. He showed you that because he took a nothing program. I know y'all gonna say that he got the $5 million, but my thing is, it's obvious you didn't want to stay because they sent you all the way up in that Siberian climate and them mountains, and it's a nothing program. Hadn't been nothing since 2000. So he's out. But I'm saying if TC surrounds himself with outstanding championship coaches, the sky is the limit. He can do a whole lot of things.
Where the money gonna come from, Mr. Ford?
They got money. These people are taking up $5 million at games. I think they said that homecoming ticket sales was over $5 million.
They brought in money. They brought in money, right? But the money go to the general fund, and you cannot build.
But they're going to have to straighten that out.
You cannot build a Power 5 football program or conference with them doing that.
But he's Ashley said he's not concerned about having a Power 5 program. He wants to be a top-notch FCS program. He's already said that.
That's coming from his mouth. Hey, I want to get some more people on here, Michael. So I want to try to get some more people to give their input on here, and I'll bring you back on.
All right.
So if anybody wants to come onto the stream, I did put the link in as far as on the stream right now. You can state your case and see how, what can we do to keep this renaissance, keep it moving and keep it booming. So if you want to jump on the stream, make sure you click on the link. I don't do the phone, but just click on the link. This is about good enough for me to have a phone line. We'll go from there. But my whole thing about this is that, like, it's kind of like I'm gonna say it just like this. Let's say for example, Grambling. All right. Grambling got how many alumni do you think Grambling got, Mr. Ford, overall? Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
How many alumni you think Grambling has, like, overall?
Ooh, you know what? That's something I need to research. Now, I heard one time that Florida A&M has over 50,000, maybe more than that.
So
I need to find out.
So we kind of came up with something yesterday, and I was on Ken Clark's show, and we came up with something like, well, if you got 50,000 alumni, you take 50,000, and let's just say you give $25 every month, right?
Right.
So that's $1.25 million. So let's just say that's every month right there.
Right.
But let's just say not in the whole 50,000 give to it. Let's just say maybe 5,000. Let's just say 5,000 give 25. That's 125,000, and they do it every month. And let's do it for 12 months times 12. That's 1.5 million right there. So let's just say another 2,500 give, let's say, $50. Let's say 2,500. Let's just say they give $100. I'm gonna say give $100. Multiply that by 12. That's $3 million right there. So so everybody could give whatever they can, and you keep doing it as a revolving, and just saying, like, you can donate money to your alumni association or to the school. You want it to come out of your bank account, 25, you know what I'm saying, every month. Right on the dot every month. And I think, can you use that as a tax write-off because it's a 501?
Oh, yeah,
right?
yeah. Now, one problem I do have, Doc, is this whole thing of athletic money going to the general fund. Now,
Right.
personally, I believe that you should have an athletic foundation, and all of the ticket money and all of the money made by the athletic department should go into the athletic foundation, not to the general fund. Now, what I keep hearing that people saying that the money is going into the money taken up, the ticket sales money is going into a general fund. To me, that's a resume for disaster. Because now, I know University of Georgia, their ticket money and all of the monies for athletics does not go into the general fund. It goes into the athletic foundation. And so I don't understand why we're not doing that. Can somebody tell me why?
I don't know. I don't know. It's kind of crazy because we don't have, like you said, we don't have boosters. I mean, we don't have boosters. We have, you know what I'm saying? We have our alumni. So we don't have that big, that big money donor to just.
Well, I'm just saying, why does the money, okay,
have to go
if you take up $3 or $4 million at the football game, why does the money have to automatically go to the president and administration instead of going into an athletic foundation? Why is that? Mr. Cameron, let me see. Mr. Cameron said, give you accounting credits because it sounds like financial statement. Okay, so you saying we need to be reading the school's annual report, Mr. Campbell?
Hey, yeah, Mr. Campbell, Stephen. Hey, Mr. Stephen Campbell, come on to the show, man. Come on to the show, because I know you might be driving, you might be, I don't know what you're doing, but
okay, some HBCU band talk said because the money is needed for the institution in general. Now, I do understand that. I went to Grambling, and Coach Eddie Robinson was making so much money off the football team. That was one of the reasons Grambling didn't end the year in debt because, because of the fact they were making so much money off the football team. But I just have a problem with the football team tickets money being $5 million, and then the administration issues back a few dollars back to the athletic program. I don't understand that. I guess I'm not a business person. My wife is. So somebody needs to tell me that. Okay. That's okay. Russell Haynes says that's with all HBCUs, Mr. Ford. Okay. Okay. Mr. Campbell said correct because that has the P&L financial statement with breakdown of revenue and expenditures. Yeah. Okay. So, Mr. Campbell, what do you think about the athletic foundation, what I'm talking about? Is that far-fetched? You don't believe in that? You think tell me what you think about what I said about an athletic foundation like the one they have at University of Georgia. What's your thoughts on that?
I like the athletic foundation. We need something like that.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought an athletic foundation would be better. Because, see, if you're going to give all the money to the president and administration, I mean, isn't that like exploitation?
Pretty much.
Okay. Mr. Campbell said that's exactly what should be doing. FAMU has one called the 220 Club. Right. I've heard about the 220 Club. I know that they finance a lot of stuff for the athletic program, right? Because I read an article where they bought a cooling spot for the players. If they got too hot, they could go in there. Didn't the 220 Club buy that?
You got Mr. Campbell just need to come on to the show and just jump on.
Yeah, because I just don't understand. Okay, they said that. Now this was 2 years ago. Jackson State took up $5.2 million at homecoming. This was the game when they played Alabama State. Okay.
Yeah.
Why didn't that money go into an athletic foundation? Why did it have to go to the president and the administration? Now I do understand what somebody said. They do need that money to help their college. I mean, the university. I do understand
that. Ms. Coleman said the 1400 Club is trying to get that started up. So the 1400 Club is pretty much going to try to get it to where it's an athletic, kind of like an athletic foundation to where
Yeah,
not just for
that's what I'm asking
team, but
about.
yeah,
But to me,
for all
why is
athletes.
it all of the schools should have an athletic foundation, right? Not just
Right.
Jackson State, all of them should have that. And then another thing, I think they're giving too much money to the conference office. Somebody told me now, Mr. Campbell, y'all tell me now. Somebody said that at each game, 40% of the revenues has to go back to the conference office. I don't understand that. I don't understand that. Now, to me,
it's
25,
written in the
30 at the
bylaws.
most, but not no 40%. Now, somebody need to correct me. Explain that to me. Why is 40% of the money got to be sent to the conference office? To me, if Mississippi Valley have a good crowd, 40% of the money don't need to go to the conference office. I can see 25, like I said, at the most 30, but 40%, oh no, Let Mississippi Valley keep that money and develop an infrastructure.
Yeah, your schools ain't getting that. Your school's not getting that money. Like you're not making no money. Cause like if
you're gonna send 40% to the conference office.
So
okay, the truth said he don't think that's right.
Say $5 million, and then you say 40% goes back to the conference office.
Yeah, got to go to the conference. I don't understand that.
So you mean tell me if I made $5 million off one game, right? You mean tell me I got to send $2 million back to the to the conference office? Nah, trust me. If y'all want to know, actually, I think I have read it. In fact, my good friend Yard Talk had gave me the deal as far as what the SWAC bylaws are.
We need to get a copy of the SWAC bylaws. That's what we're going to have to do.
SWAC bylaws, revenue.
What is the SWAC office take on each home game? That's what we got to find out.
Let's see. Let me see. I'm trying to figure out because I'm trying to look at it myself. I had it earlier. In fact, let me see if I can find it in my email because I think she sent it to my email. I think she sent it to my email. All right. So I got a copy of the Constitution bylaws and sports regulations of the SWAC.
Okay.
I remember she sent this to me in July. And I'm going to look at it, say dues and assessments. That's on page 8. I know it's on here somewhere. Okay. Channel says annual dues. No, conference revenues. Let's see. Any conference member who participates in a national, regional, or sectional bowl game and or a televised contest or meet, whether during the regular preseason or postseason, will share its part of the television revenue with the conference office and other members of the conference. The participating conference institution will retain 60% of the gross and forward the balance of 40% to the conference office for inclusion for inclusion in the conference treasury. All funds received by the Southwestern Athletic Conference become the property of the conference and shall be administered in accordance with the SWAC Constitution and bylaws or institutions from the Council of Presidents and Chancellors. Before distribution of revenues are made to the membership, the conference office budget must be balanced for the year after approving the budget. It is the charge of the conference office to distribute equal shares of each institution with the men's and women's regular season winners, the men's and women's NCAA basketball tournament participants. The host of the SWAC football championship shall receive revenue associated with hosting the contest, including but not limited to ticket sales and parking. The Council of Presidents and Chancellors at each spring annual meeting will determine the amount to be distributed to the membership based upon criteria established by the Council of Presidents and Chancellors. So, let's see. Got thing for ESPN Celebration Bowl football revenue distribution. The institution competing in the ESPN Celebration Bowl will receive 80% of the revenue and ticket obligations. Each non-competing institution and the SWAC office will receive a 20% split of the remaining money in ticket obligation. So basically, when we went to the Celebration Bowl, if the payout was $2 million, the SWAC office gets 20% of that money right there, and then it divvies the other 20% out to the rest of the institutions. So now it's not, I won't say it's giving back 40% all together when you have a home game or anything to the conference office, but I'm thinking it's more of anything that's has something to, like you said, with classics, also with hosting the SWAC championship game. That's the reason why if you're a school like Jackson State, you be want to go back to you want to win and go back to the championship game. Mr. Campbell, what's going on, Uncle?
Okay, man. Doc, I enjoy your show. A lot of guys in the chat. Sean is my nephew. So here's where I get frustrated because we be comparing apples and oranges and things like that. So Sean, I don't know what you read, so I'm going to say that respectfully. But sometimes when I hear people, again, I was a business administration major from Florida A&M University, and I hear a lot of people that don't even know the difference between a balance sheet and an income statement. And what it sounds like people are reading a balance sheet, which is just a summary. Every school, every public entity has to produce an annual report and income statement, which is line by line what happens with the money. Okay, that's how most of the time these schools get caught, because somebody goes back through there and say, "Oh, you know what? Hold on, you've said you use this money for, but I don't see the receipts for that. I don't see the expenditures for that." That's usually how they get caught. Okay, so this is how all the people that embezzle, that's how they get caught. So I want to say that. So first thing that we have to be clear on, we got to know what we're talking about, because let me be clear about something about stealing money, okay? And this is what has been my pet peeve. For those of you all, and I'm saying respectfully, that are not HBCU alums, we take offense to that because you're perpetuating a stereotype. I've heard more people say Jack State stole money. Let me tell you a secret. Jack State is a public university, and I know for a fact because my alumni for FAMU is the head editor at Clarion Ledger. Clarion Ledger been snooping around since this story came around, talking about Prime not having money. They've been doing requests for all of Jackson State's budgets because they want to break a story. That's the reason why. And I know this for a fact because I do business with Jackson State. Is the legal department wrote that letter saying we are paid Prime with all our financial obligations, because technically they don't even pay him until the end of the fiscal year for the tickets. See, a lot of people don't even know that either. But if you don't know what you're talking about, stop saying that, because this ain't like they get money in the bag and then they take some money out the bag and they take it to the bank. All this stuff is electronic. All this stuff is electronic. So when you say that, you push these false narratives. Because let me tell you something I also know, because I've known Deion Sanders and have been around him for 30 plus years, indirectly and directly. He had one of the smartest agents, Eugene Parker. A lot of you all don't know who that is.
Yeah,
Trust me when I
Eugene is
say this.
deceased, didn't he?
He is deceased. Yes, I think Eugene passed
Right.
around in
He's from Fort
2015.
Wayne, Indiana.
Correct. One of the
He was also Woodson. What was Woodson? That was his agent. What was Woodson's name?
Charles Woodson?
No. The big safety
Rod
played
Woodson.
for the Steelers.
Yeah, Rod Woodson was. Yeah, Rod Woodson was.
Yeah, that was his agent. Yeah.
And not to get too far off on that, Deion, this was so transformative by Deion. Deion was one of the first black players to sign with a black agent. That was that big. Deion changed the whole role. But my point of it is, trust me when I say this, I know this. If there was a dime missing from Deion, you would have seen that lawsuit filed in Hinds County before he got his ass on that plane in Colorado. Trust me when I say this. That's the reason why you never heard Deion say anything like that. That is the reason why Jackson State wrote that statement with confidence. So you guys got to understand how this business works. And until somebody tells me that they've done contracts with the university, like I've done with Grambling, like I've done with Jackson State, like I've done with Alcorn, like I have done with FAMU, and I know the red tape. So I understand the frustration. I had to, and again, there are people in Jackson State that I talk to. Jackson State is a university. They're not a business. And I think that has a lot to do with it. Because when you try to do stuff business-wise, compared to where a university moves, a university is like a battleship. And they got rules and regulations for all types of things. Right. There were things, I'll give you a perfect example. With me and my business, I wanted to sponsor the Royal Court and other things. It was certain things that I could say with Jackson State. It was certain things I could not. And it was the silliest stuff. I have a 40-page contract with Jackson State of all the things I could not say, or what the Queen could say, or what she couldn't say. This is real talk. And this is just for giving them some $6,000 worth of hair. Okay? So I'm telling you, I have read these contracts. I know who the general counsel is from Jackson State. So when people go out and say, oh, Prime got his money stolen, trust me when I say this. If that money's got stuff, you all would have been known. Now, to insinuate, and I'm going to make this leap, were there things that Prime wanted to do? Absolutely, business-wise, that I think Jackson State should have taken advantage of. But I'm going to say this again. When Deion came in like a tornado or whirlwind, Jackson State was not prepared for all the things that Deion was bringing to the table. And they had to come from behind. So he's bringing these ideas and doing this thing. And you're used to doing this. Well, we want to film this. Well, hold on. Case in point, one of the big arguments about Tracy Edmonds wanting to do the reality show. Well, here's the thing, guys. You got to understand. You just can't do a reality show. Everybody that's on camera has to sign a release.
Right.
Everybody.
Right.
So you just can't go in there with a camera. So if it's one student that said, don't show my face, and you can sue. I film a lot of stuff. When we film stuff for IWE, I have to have a big ass billboard. If you walk in this area, we are filming, you are giving your right to use your face.
Right.
That had a lot to do with it. And also because they did not have editorial control, which makes sense. We don't know what you're going to show. We don't want Jackson State to look back on any college. Why do you think Colorado all of a sudden said, oh no, you're not going to handle the social media. We're going to handle it. Because you ain't never going to see that dirty laundry. That's the reason why, respectfully, they told Deion Jr., no, thank you. Because we want to make sure, because I saw the alumni already complain about the size of Prime's logo. So these are things when we're in here as fans, and I'm hoping people are fans and supporters of HBCU, because a lot of people that I see, I could tell they didn't go to HBCU, but I'm glad you're here. Because a lot of people support Georgia, never attended Georgia.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't have a problem. I want you to support FAMU. I like all these people that came to support Jackson State, and I hope you stay. But when you put out negative things, like I saw, that people were getting stuff, like even that video. People didn't even know what that video. Oh, see, prime time always so. Deion did not say that. Deion was talking about a hypothetical that was filmed September 20th. But you know what people did? They clipped that up.
Right.
And they made it say that Deion said that he was getting money stolen. Deion never said it. And that's not even fair to Deion. And then guess what you have? You have people that are idiots that are putting pressure on him. So, and anybody that knows Deion gonna snap on you. Deion's the same person that threw water on Tim McCarver. And probably half of y'all weren't even born when that happened. Mr. Ford remembers that.
That was right here in Atlanta.
Okay? This man will go at you. So if you're attacking him, he feels he's doing right, and he sees all this, and it's going back and forth. It's negative. It's not positive. And this is what disappoints me when I see these things. People say, oh, I know. Well, if you know, trust me, I refinance thing. I had to send people the financial statement to show them what it looks like. I said, if you don't have this, then you ain't reading it right. because I know where to go get it from. It's all public record. But if you're not a financial person, you wouldn't even know how to read it. I'm telling you right now, the average person does not know how to read an income statement. If you've never seen it, if I gave you an income statement, P&L, balance sheet, you wouldn't know the difference. If you're not educated or trained or had a business to fill those out.
Right.
So when you come to me and say, oh, I'm looking at this and all I see is X amount of money, I'm saying, bro, you're looking at the income statement. On the balance sheet, you're not even looking at the breakdown. I'm going to show you what the breakdown is. Because by law, they have to do that. And this ain't got nothing to do with Jackson State. This is federal law because anybody that gets federal funds have to do a certain level of accounting.
Well, let me ask you this, Mr. Campbell. Financially, would it be better if the MEAC and the SWAC combined?
No, because no, and Mr. Farmer, I'm gonna tell you the reason why. FAMU, I got to FAMU in 1988. And my first football game, I went in there and we were playing somebody up the East Coast, right? And it was like 6,000 people there. Okay. Now I come from Jackson that was on a 20-game win streak that was 30, 40,000 people in the stands. But you know why? Because of proximity of the schools. So the problem is, unfortunately, the schools up the East Coast do not have the pedigree to care about football.
Right.
The SWAC does.
Right.
So we can't save everybody.
Right.
So unfortunately, the MEAC has to make a decision on what kind of conference. And I'm gonna tell you something too, to you guys. This is the thing that every man can't make it the trip. And this is what I feel sorry about. Because technically, Mississippi Valley and UAPB probably need to drop down a level.
Yeah.
Because financially, they just cannot afford it.
Yeah, Pine Bluff.
What division 2 conference would they join?
Well, see, that's the thing. Now we're asking another question, but I'm talking about the reality of finance. You're right. What would I don't know where they would go, but because of history, because of relationships, of course, Valley is Jackson State and Alcorn's brother. They ain't gonna kick their brother out their house. They would never vote for that. But I'm telling you, when we're sitting up here talking about UAPB can't pay a coach over $120,000, because you think about this, because look at how white schools do. They go get a young guy, right? Give him a shot. Right. And then he moves up. But if you got a guy that we feel has the ability to coach, he's already at a Power 5, making $300,000. He's already there.
But here's my question. Now, they're saying that Pine Bluff has $7 million to spend on athletics. It's ridiculous that you're paying a coach $120,000. Well, you got $7 million to work with.
Well, see, this goes back to my point that I would need to see that, because you know what would answer this question? Let's see what the expenditures are.
Right. Okay.
See, if we looked at their income statement, we look line by line, right? Because this is another thing too, which I had to explain to everybody on Scotty's show. Oh, everybody making this money. Only 18 colleges, period. And I'm talking about all of them are profitable. Only 18.
Yeah, because I saw that, the University of Michigan has got a big debt.
Exactly. Why do you think UCLA is like, hell yeah, we're leaving the Pac-12? They are at a deficit. UCLA.
Yeah.
It's only 18 that make a profit. But the schools is fine because it's a loss leader for them. Because again, Alabama, they're one school that make money, so that might not be a good example. But let's just use UCLA, right? UCLA loses money. But guess what? When they play in a bowl game and a basketball team, it is for marketing. Right. So they'll take that L on one way because it helps bring students in on the other way. It's the same thing with Jackson State. Jackson State, by them winning, do you guys realize how much money they made? And I'm talking about from students enrollment. Their student freshman enrollment increased for the first time in 10 years because of the prime effect. They're not like FAMU or in North Carolina A&T where people are just coming for the academics. Jackson State needed that because you had kids that said, you know what, that looks like fun. I'm going to go down there. And Jackson State will give you money to come to college. So that's what happens. That's why, again, why we do need to understand how to market, because sports is a forward-facing entity. But the problem is, because we are so underfunded and we're robbing Peter to pay Paul, that's, as they say, the reason why that money goes in the general fund. Because I literally cannot put $1 million to sit in the athletic budget on hold when I literally got to pay the bills for a new dorm that needs to be built.
I feel you on that.
So yes, we would want to operate, but again, this goes back to the arguments of, again, I've always said, if Tennessee, University, the state of Tennessee, Mississippi, North Carolina, Florida, give our HBCU their $1 billion you owe them, we wouldn't be having this problem.
Right. Yeah.
But then you got people that come in here that don't even know the history or know nothing about. I don't know why Jackson State is not doing this. I don't know why FAMU. Do you know politics?
Right.
I'm gonna tell you before you understand that. Bobby Jindal tried to stranglehold Southern and Grambling. He tried to kill Grambling.
He tried to kill Grambling.
He gave Grambling, understand it, he tried to make Grambling run off of $5 million.
Yeah.
That's
and
how
see,
John
all of
Bell
that was
Edwards
because he wanted
moved.
to show the white people, at the time he was trying to, he wanted to be a candidate for president. So he was showing the white people, I know how to deal with the ends.
Thank you.
That's why he was doing that. He was
John
trying
Bell
to show
Edwards,
that to the white folk.
Correct. John Bell Edwards actually won in a deep-ass red state as a Democrat because the black folks was like, hell no.
Yep.
And they voted for him twice.
Right.
In a ruby red state. They still don't know how. But because of those Grambling and Southern alumni that saw what Bobby Jindal tried to destroy these universities. So when we go and say why Grambling doesn't have this, well, I get to go show you. And this is not 5 years ago. This is a 50-year, 60-year issue. You got Tennessee State. They are all these land grant institutions supposed to get money from the government. You know what Tennessee said? No, we'll just give it to Tennessee Tech.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they literally gave Tennessee State's money to Tennessee Tech.
Yes, they did.
Okay, but we got people in here talking about, oh, I don't know why they don't pull themselves up by their bootstraps. Okay, man. So like I said, my thing is, if you want to have an intelligent discussion with me, I'm very respectful. But there's two things I know. I know my history by HBCU, and I know my HBCU sports. I can tell you every great player from 1965 all the way to 2022. Because I love what we have. So I don't want this to be, that's why I'm disappointed on this thing with how Deion is left. Because there should not have been any negativity, period.
Right.
But once again, we are now in this situation, and we got people saying negative things about Jackson State. That is not fair. Because I'm going to say this one thing, Dr. I'm going to shut up. Jackson State University mission is to educate poor black people.
Right.
Isn't that
bigger than
mission?
anything.
Isn't that FAM's mission?
But my point, that's every HBCU mission. But I'm talking about Jackson State University. Exactly. That is bigger than any entity.
Yep.
My grandfather went to Jackson State in 1938 because his daddy said, you got to go out there and get an education. I'm going to kill one of these white folks down here for stealing my money. I need you to get educated.
I remember you told me that story.
Exactly. So don't tell me about how these schools do not change people's lives. I've got 100 family members that have attended Jackson State since 1938, and all of them are successful. So let's relax and have a very respectable debate, right? Because I see people that are very smart that care. Let's have a respectable debate, and let's challenge these schools, because these schools need to be challenged because we are stagnant. Deion showed that this is stagnation. This makes no sense. So you guys are not even trying.
So I got a question, Mr. Campbell. So can the athletic renaissance of HBCUs continue? Can it keep going forward from what we saw when Deion came in September of 2020, even though we didn't play football that year? But can we still continue that renaissance, the renaissance we have right now?
Well, here's what
especially
I think
for
happened.
Football. Because
here's what I think has happened, Doc, which is awesome. We now have kids because HBCUs were never built off of 4 and 5 stars, guys. They never were.
Yeah.
What our coaches were able to do was take 1, 2, and maybe a 3-star and make them a superstar. And now what I'm seeing is those guys, because the NFL is made up of all 3 stars and below. Over 70% of the people in the NFL are 3 stars or below. So the opportunity is to recruit those kids and to show them the ability to play. What we saw was the best advertisement for HBCU football Saturday.
Right.
You saw big plays, you saw a high level of football, and you saw excitement. Right. And literally, so far, and I dare say, we'll probably go in the top 5 bowl games this year.
Right.
So when you can show that, and then you can show, because this is the advantage that Deion did have, come to the culture. That's why Deion, these kids were like, they love Jackson State. I know some of those kids on that team. They loved Jackson State. We have kids down at FAMU. FAMU's only lost 1 transfer because the culture. So if we can recruit these 3-star kids and get kids that did not feel that they got a shot at Power 5s and Group of 5 and bring them down and start building, because the way we build this is to produce NFL draft picks.
Right.
I'm telling you, in the 80s, I saw Jerry Rice play Isaac Hope. Okay? I saw Steve McNair. I saw Michael Strahan. I saw Ashley Ambrose. I saw True Major. All these guys were high-level picks. So when you start getting that, so then you can say, hey, you come in. Jackson State again, and I tell people the story, like, they had 16 NFL picks in 5 years. 16. 4 of those were first rounders.
Right.
And this wasn't in the 50s. This was in the late 80s. So yeah, there was a telephone, and cable TV then.
Yeah.
So I think that ability, what we have now exposed these kids to, is to keep it going. So
I want to ask a question. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, we good. You good, Mr. Kemp? I mean, Mr. Ford.
Hey, Mr. Kemp, let me ask you this. If you had 30 minutes to sit down with Commissioner McClellan, what would you tell him?
Well, the first thing is we're not building enough narratives in HBCU football. We let Prime do that. Prime was in there. Think about college football itself. Nick Saban versus Brian Kelly. You know what I mean? Right. All these things. Barry Switzer versus Tom Osborne.
Right.
Yeah.
These are the things that are built. Dabo Sweeney versus XYZ versus. So that we have compelling storyline. When Eddie Robinson said, Deion ain't SWAC, it ain't nothing new. Marino Castleman say that shit all the time. Marino Castleman and Eddie Robinson, the real Eddie Robinson, the original Eddie Robinson, senior, right. Eddie Robinson for Grambling, did not get along. A lot of people don't know that. They didn't get along.
I remember Bob Hill didn't get along with Castleman either, did he?
He tried to fight him.
Yeah, in front of what, 50,000?
Thank you. So that's what I'm saying. So for us not to promote these storylines and these rivalries, and to then bring the old with the new. Because that's what Deion did. I like what they did. They had all the old head, Walter Payton, Robert Brazile, Lem Bardano, blazing new trails, building off of traditions. That's a hell of a goddamn slogan.
Now, Mr. Campbell, let me ask you this question. Business-wise, how much would it take for us to have something like the SEC channel? For us to have the SWAC channel like the SEC channel?
Well, let's remember, the SEC don't have the SEC channel.
Okay,
it is founded
ESPN,
and funded
right?
by ESPN.
Right.
And then they give the SEC a check from that revenue. So the SEC don't own that. That's why the SEC, once again, is upset that the Big 12, which is going to make sense because they're in bigger markets, have basically doubled the money.
So listen, do you think we need to, would we need to go to Byron Allen to set up the SWAC channel?
Well, this is the thing. I don't know how many people watch HBCU Go. I thought that production was amazing.
I did too. I loved it.
And the fact, here was the thing. And people, it is no secret. I am very well known in these HBCU streets. And I travel all over the country. I was in Chicago, Illinois. And FAMU was playing Grambling on HBCU Go. Hey, Steve, I see. And I'm talking about people that went to University of Illinois, Western Illinois. Hey, man, I'm sitting up here watching FAMU and Grambling on regular TV. And it was a compelling game.
Yeah, it was.
But guess what you had? You had your lead dog, Jackson State, on ESPN Plus.
Yep.
And there were barriers to that. For people, again, that are sitting at home, that is a barrier. My mother, we had to get my mother a whole brand new fancy ass TV just so she could watch those games.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
My mother's true blue JSU. But I tell you what, when the thing was on HBCU Go, she called me one of my time. Oh, see, I'm sitting up here watching FAMU, wait for Jackson State to come on. And they were in every major market. So the question is ESPN really giving us, because to me, I would rather have more access than almost more money.
Well, Mr. Campbell, let me ask this question. What does the conference need to do to help Bethune-Cookman?
Well, here's the problem. And this is what happens. Bethune-Cookman is a private university. And Bethune-Cookman's problem is not the conference. It is their administration and their alumni. Do you understand they have decertified the Alumni Association?
What'd you say? They did what?
They decertified their Alumni Association.
Yeah.
Why?
Because they were doing some political stuff, underhanded stuff, I think, weren't they?
Yeah. So the problem is when you have a private university, they get a little bit of money from the state, but all their money is fundraising. Unlike FAMU, Jackson, when they get their budget from the state and they go petition and say, hey, we need this to run it. They don't get to do that to the state of Florida. They have to get people, no different than Spelman and Morehouse. And they're part of the United Negro College Fund.
So, well, let me ask this question. Do you think they need to go Division II?
I'm going to say this again. I think any school that's got less than 5,000 students, 6,000 students should really have a hard look, because that's the problem. Because here's another thing too. Let's remember, and this is what happens to North Carolina A&T and FAMU. Our money is based off of student athletic fees, which means the more students you have, the more your athletic budget is. So if you only got 4,000 students and North Carolina A&T got 15, they definitely going to have a bigger budget. Because the money comes from...
So you think Alcorn, because Alcorn's student population is what? It's 3,000, right?
Yeah, see, and
Mr. Ford, like 2,700 kids.
Right. And these are the uncomfortable conversations that people don't want to have. Because if you looked at it from a financial standpoint, right, you would say, you know what, there's a baseline that you got to have, because there will be a minimum that you would need to have your athletic budget be. But remember, all these schools came up together because their mission is not an athletic mission.
Right.
So we're not going, that's the one thing. I'm never going to say kick Alcorn out or Bethune out, because I understand how we all came up.
Right. Now, Alabama State is below 4,000, right?
I'm telling you something. It is only Texas Southern, FAMU, and Jackson State that I believe are over 7,000 students.
That's what I'm thinking.
Prairie View, right.
Because I think last year, South Carolina State had 2,000 or less, right?
Mr. Ford, if it wasn't for Jim Clyburn, because remember, they had sent them money and they were going to close it down and send the students to South Carolina and Clemson.
Right, I do remember.
And because Jim Clyburn strong-armed them and told them fools, he flew down there and said, if you guys mess with this money again, I'm about to go get this loan from the government to keep them open. Because of Jim Clyburn. See, these are the things that when we look at that, and a lot of people that don't understand, I don't think they really realize how small our HBCUs are. And this is when I get upset when I hear people saying, oh, North Dakota State or Sam. Do y'all realize these schools? Like North Dakota State is the flagship school of North Dakota.
Right. I think it's 19,000, isn't it?
The governor went to North Dakota State. You don't think they're not going to get the money they need? Sam Houston. Look at Kennesaw State. Kennesaw State got damn near 30,000 students. 39.
They got 39,000.
Thank you. But y'all want to compare Kennesaw to FAMU.
Right.
It makes no sense. That's why I know you, and I say this, I know people that say don't know what they're talking about. And that's the reason why when I heard people, oh, Jackson State need to go play NDSU for what? They're not ready to play that game. To get embarrassed so you can laugh at them.
Right.
See, that's when I believe in competition. And this will be my last story, Doc, and then I'm going to shut up. And I'm talking about what I saw. Jackson State in '87 had one of the powerhouse. They literally had about 10 guys that went to the NFL. They went down to Southern Mississippi. Southern Mississippi had actually played Florida State a few weeks before. Florida State was the number 2 team. They didn't even sell it out. The first time USM Stadium was ever sold out because Jackson State came down there. And Jackson State had Brett Favre, and the only reason why they won the game was on a punt return. And this is when USM had bomb squads. Yeah. They were a high-level mid-major. And they told USM, bring your ass up here to Jackson. They said, hell no. So they knew if they would have came to Jackson with them bombs. This is a team that Jimmy Smith was on, who's a Hall of Famer. This is a team that Lewis Tillman was on.
Wasn't Darren Connor on that team?
Darren Connor was on that team, who was a second-round pick.
Right.
Jimmy Smith, Lewis Tillman.
Houston Hoover,
first-round pick. Listen to what I just said. I just named you one first-round pick, 2 second-round picks, and a third-round pick. On one team, and there's 5 other guys that got drafted on that team.
Man,
okay, that's talent, man.
Everybody,
they had more draft picks. Jackson State would have more draft picks to Ole Miss and Mississippi State every year.
And you got more NFL Hall of Famers in those schools, right?
Combined with all of them combined.
Right. Because Jackson State got 4.
Correct, and should have 5 with Jimmy Smith.
And what about Harold Jackson? I feel like he should be in that Hall of Fame.
He's another one. Harold Jackson should be 6. So these are things
and you say combine all three white schools combined is only
don't have
one
4 Hall of Famers. They do not.
Just one though, right?
USM, I think, got Brett Favre and Ray Guy. I think Mississippi State's got the Ken Hull, and Ole Miss might have one.
Is it Charlie Connolly?
Maybe. Because everybody thinks Archie Manning is a Hall of Famer. He's not.
He's not. No.
That's crazy. But I was told when I got to Jackson, though, and I got to Jackson in '97, a lot of people was telling me about Jackson State, how it was when they were playing back in the early '90s and the late '80s with that W.C. Gordon running the show. And everybody, they said, like, people was telling me, like, schools like Southern, before Pete Richardson got there, was scared to play Jackson State with those W.C. Gordon teams.
Listen, man, Southern was only known. Let me tell you what Southern back in the 80s was known. Southern was the first band that had people singing. You know what I mean? Like now you see everybody doing that. Southern was the 1st band that did that. And they did it in Jackson, and they sung Real Love. Southern used to get waxed coming to Jackson. That's why when you look at these records, like I think Southern is ahead of Jackson by a few games and all that. This Jackson was ahead of every school they played until they had this dead period. And Southern wins 8 in a row. And Grambling wins 10 in a row. That's how dominant they were at a point.
Dang.
And Sonic Boom just said something. Sonic Boom, 100%, they were way better. It's not even close. Jimmy Smith and them teams. It's not even close with talent-wise. I'm telling you, they had first rounders. They had first rounders on that team, all over that team. They would beat this Jackson State team by 30. It's not even close. Shannon Boyd did not lose a game as a quarterback. He was undefeated. He quarterback for 3 years and did not lose a SWAC game.
So I got a question for you, Mr. Ford. I mean, Mr. Campbell. Mr. Ford dropped off for a second. What do you think about the kids going into the portal and Jackson State having probably like almost 30 kids in the portal right now?
Well, okay. So let me see. Okay. That
here go the FAMU side of you coming.
Let's understand what that means. See, a lot of people don't even know what that means. You have to get in the portal for anybody to even contact you.
Right.
Okay. So it makes sense for all of those kids to get into the portal to see if there was any opportunities. Okay. Right. But now look at what you're seeing. Wiggins, Johnson, the other kid. All these kids are like, I'm not going in or coming out. So you re-recruit your kids. Because let me tell you something what people don't understand too. And like I say, and again, Doc, I had a lot of jobs. I used to have, me and my boys had a sports agency. I think I told you this.
Yeah.
Let me tell you the funny thing about the portal. If you don't get an offer in that first 48 hours, probably won't get an offer at all.
Wow.
A lot of people don't know that.
So that's what you talk about that. That's what I was saying about that, the portal obscurity.
Correct.
Like you will get stuck. It's like kind of like what I have right here. You'll basically be stuck in a black hole.
Correct. And what happens, and I'll tell you this, a lot of you down there in Texas, okay? I'll give you a quick story.
Yep.
Their lead safety, he jumped in the portal. He ain't going nowhere because he wants an NIL deal to be renegotiated. See, so people gotta understand why some of these kids even use the portal for. So I think Jackson State, well, the ones that Prime are going to take, they know who's gone. You know what I mean? So all the top line guys are gone, but I think the majority of those guys are going to come back because the question is, if those guys had group of 5, because Prime is taking all the Power 5 guys, right? So they all gone.
Right.
So if you only have one double F, what is it? What are we FCS, right? I'm so you saying one double A. If you're only going to get another FCS offer, why would you leave Jackson?
Right.
For what?
Sure. I seen yesterday. I looked on there. I know Willis Patrick. He jumped in the portal. I think it was Monday morning, and probably like let's just say probably like an hour and a half or 2 hours later, he got an offer from Maryland, and then he got another offer from another Power 5 school. So I was like, yeah, he the way his take and what he was doing, he was legit in what he was doing. And plus, these schools are looking for people like him because he's an offensive lineman. So they try to beef up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's the thing.
But this is just like what Prime said, though. I got to beef up my offensive defensive line before I do anything. Everybody knows that the skill positions on the outside on offensive defense is going to, you know.
And they're a dime a dozen.
Yeah.
They're a dime a dozen. So every guy that Jackson State lost or will lose, guess what? They're not going to have a problem replacing them because you got a bunch of kids that are at Power 5 that's going to come down. See, this is the thing that Jackson State, and I see FAMU is tearing it up. We are tearing it up. Because Jackson State, FAMU, Southern have something that they can sell. If I'm TC Taylor, I'm like, let me tell you something. We got great facilities. We got this massive fan base. And you know what? We got exposure. People know who Jackson State is. So come here. Because people are still going to watch just to see what happens. Right?
Right.
People are going to check them out just to see what happens. So again, if you get these players, and again, build these players up, because that's the one thing I heard somebody say. The biggest problem is our coaches are not teachers anymore, as far as developing talent.
Right.
These coaches have to get back to getting guys, say, I see something in you, I'm going to work with you, and I'm going to develop to make you a draft pick. Because again, if you get draft picks, you'll get guys. Right. Because NIL is only for the top line guys, and that's 1%. Unless you go to a school that's paying everybody NIL. But them group of 5 schools, they ain't giving nobody no NIL money. So they can come to Jackson State or FAMU. And because they're going to get a great education. And quick story about education that Jackson State and FAMU both can sell. If you come to Jackson State or FAMU. So you know the thing about the guy from Good Morning America, he was messing with the white girl, right? And they kicked him out.
Holmes, he's from Arkansas.
Correct. Exactly. I'm glad you said he went to University of Arkansas.
Yeah.
But guess what? Who was his boss? Kim Goodwin, a FAMU Rattler. And you know what Kim Goodwin did? DeMarco Morgan, Delta Chapel Kappa, Jackson State. She said, "Come on, HBCU, I'm going to promote you. I've been waiting to get this fool out the way for a second."
That's a funny thing. Hey, that's a funny thing. That's my classmate right there too. Came in the same.
Thank you. She's been waiting to get, and I'm not speaking for Kim, so this is not Kim calling me. I'm just saying I know how HBCU folks work. Don't you think when they met and they gave each other that HBCU dap, she said, "I got you. Don't worry." And now he'll have that job forever. That's how we do stuff. So when you go to University of Alabama, I have people that went to Texas, and I got good friends. And I ain't gonna say their name. They're playing the NFL. You know what they tell me? Their friends from Prairie View got better job opportunity than they do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Y'all gotta understand how this thing works. So that's what we sell to these kids. Now, of course, what do we have to do? Like Prime said, we had to get our facilities together. People didn't even have training tables. That's ridiculous. Not clean jerseys and things like that. Adequate living spaces, food. That's just what we got to do. Because if you do it and you bring it in, you will get the quality player, which will again give us exposure. Because what I want to see is a game, and again, Mr. Ford can understand. I grew up seeing games like that on Saturday every weekend of that high level of play.
Oh yeah,
with great coaching. So I do believe while Dion was a supernova, sometimes, man, you just got to stoke coals, because sometimes you stoke coals to keep you warm. So let's just build off of that, because one other thing too, and I tell people like, oh, Travis Hunter, he was only one guy. I'll give you a quick story. When they integrated, they only had one black player in the SEC. One. Now look, 52 years later. So don't never say, well, one can't change.
Right.
Because there was a lot of people say, hey, they ain't gonna have all these black folks playing up there at Alabama and Tennessee. Now this shit is black as hell. Alabama blacker than that.
Look like black colleges.
Thank you. Look like black colleges. Look at what Colorado wants Prime to do. That shit is 1% white in Boulder. But they want that. They want that Prime Magic. Prime Magic means black men. So that's the thing. Don't tell me things don't change. It always starts with one, young folks. Go look at your history.
Now,
Always starts with one.
Mr. Campbell, let me ask you this question. Are you in agreement with Prime about the classics? I think he wanted to eliminate that Southern Heritage Classic, right?
Well, here's the thing. If I'm Jackson State, and again, I had no idea, like, again, maybe the money worked out. If I'm Jackson State, I'm not giving up no home game.
Right.
For what? When I'm losing money, when I can put 40,000 people in the stand, I give you a perfect. This University of Florida makes sure that they have 6 home games, no matter what. That's why you see Florida play that off-ass little team every year, so they can get that 6 home game. That when you don't play home game, you lose a tremendous amount of revenue.
And then they go play that. Then they go play Georgia.
So you look at Jackson State.
They play Georgia.
So if that game was a home and home with Tennessee State, that would have been a home game. And then that game that y'all played down there, that everybody hated down there in Mobile. Look at the revenue. So Deion's like, shit, that's losing me money. Because I get paid off of home games.
Yeah.
Now, is this the last year of the FAMU Jackson State game in Miami?
Yes.
Okay, so now they'll go back to campuses.
Correct.
Okay.
And then we'll find somebody to play, because now they got that thing rolling. They want to have it. Because, and here's another thing too. But let me say this. Because let's talk about why classes started, right? Mm-hmm. To expose our schools to other places where the HBCU wasn't. Right. And a lot of classics are used to recruit students.
Right.
Understand, when Jackson State goes to Memphis, they have to get them scholarships away. When FAMU goes to Miami, and see what they're able to do is to use the ability of the money being spent to travel to say, well, while we're here, we're going to recruit. Because FAMU, it's cheaper for them to bring everybody down there while we're down there in a football game than to send a couple of professors or whoever to recruiting, right? Because you already got the band down there, you got the people down there, and then the band does that, and you bring all the students, and then we sign 300 or 400 kids from Miami.
Right.
So what
do you think about Jackson playing a game up in Chicago?
Well, everybody knows Jackson. You know, the old used to be, that was Little Mississippi.
Right.
And there were people that wanted to have a FAMU Jackson State game because of our big alumni base. Yeah. But again, it's the same reason why FAMU don't play in Atlanta. The money got to make sense.
Right.
We don't play well. 2 reasons. Well, I'm gonna say before the MEAC SWAC challenge, we were going up there. 100 black men had that game, and we were losing money. They were like, "Why are we giving up a home game to come up here to party?" This is facts. Hell with Atlanta. Coming up here to Atlanta to lose money. We'll play Albany State and make money.
Right.
So this is the thing that, again, that what I hoped, and the only dream, and I'm gonna say this as a Jacksonian, because a lot of Jacksonians got a bad rap. Nobody for Jackson gave a damn about Deion leaving. And what I mean by that is people knew people that had conversations. I'm talking about real Jacksonian, not the people that don't even know where Northside Drive is at. If you don't know Northside Drive, you ain't from Jackson.
Yep.
Those people know what I'm talking about. My Jackson folk know what I'm talking about. What they didn't like was how he left and what he said. Because those people.
Now, Mr. Campbell, I'm going to say it like this. I thought he besmirched and maligned the character of the school and the president.
He did. He did. And he didn't need to do that, because all Deion had to say was, guys, you know what? And it started at the SWAC championship game. And because he knew he was going to Colorado. Deion knew he was going to Colorado a month before that, just to let you guys know that. He'd already
the AD from Colorado basically told it.
Yeah. So if Deion at that game, if he would have said, to all you fans, you are welcome in your hearts, and no matter what happens going forward, I will always be a Tiger. Them folks would have lost their mind.
Yep.
I'm always going to be a Tiger. And if you call me, I'm going to be here. And that would have been that, and everybody would have been cool. You know what, black folks, what we do? We send y'all, and we wish you well. Mm-hmm. That's what he should do. But when you go up there in front of those white folks, and you say, it ain't no crime, and your white agent says the air is cleaner, people are going to take offense to that. It's no different. Anybody from Chicago. I have a bunch of friends from Chicago. They do not like when Republicans say, oh, Chicago is little Vietnam or little this or whatever. Because that is not the essence of the city of Chicago.
Right.
So it's the same thing. If you going and me being, and I come from black folks that marched, and you going up, as my grandma say, shining in front of white folks, And I know he didn't mean it, but he said it. When Deion, all he had to do, and then you take Shador up there and say, this is your quarterback, and you have him put, when you got one more game,
you feel some kind of way.
You're going to feel some kind of way. That was not a good look. Shador should have never made that trip. There was no need for Shador to be there.
That's true.
And Sean, let me tell you something. Let me give you something. It's nobody's on. This is called an intelligent conversation of analysis. Now, if you don't like it, nobody cares because you're not from Jackson. So it's not for you to understand. As they say, you have to be from there to understand it. So nobody cares if you don't understand it. It's like if you didn't go to HBCU and we get mad about HBCUs, we get it. Like wherever you're from, I'm not going to understand why you might be upset about something. But I'm going to respect it because I can't walk your journey, brother. I don't know your journey.
Well, let me say this about the low crime. I hope y'all know that there's a problem of police brutality in Denver and Boulder, right? Did y'all know that?
Well, of course. You know, I mean, but here's the thing, Mr. Ford. There's no Nirvana for black folks anywhere.
Right. Nah. Thank you.
So Deion went there, and this is the thing. Deion said from the get-go he wanted to go Power 5. Because Deion, and this is not a negative, Deion has an ego. Deion has always been the best at anything he's done. There's very few people like that on this earth. This man is tremendous. He's been successful in 2 sports. Well, actually, he was successful in 4 sports. Deion is a hell of a. Deion ran track. Let me tell you what Deion did. Deion ran the 4x100. It was the old Metro Conference when Louisville was in. Yeah. Ran the anchor, won, and then went play baseball.
Yeah. Now, actually, he was not the fastest man on Florida State's campus. It was a boy named Sammy Smith who went to prison.
Right. Sammy Smith from Seminole, Florida.
That's
number
right.
33.
He beat him in high school, and he was the anchor on that 4x1.
There you go. So, again, I have no problem when you already let everybody know. What my problem is do not disrespect that that Jackson State. Again, it is what it is. Figured out a way for you to get a degree. Florida State didn't do that for 30 years.
Yep.
That was an HBCU. He's an HBCU alum. He's not a Florida State alum as far as education. Jackson State gave him his chance. If there's no Talladega, there will be no Jackson State. If there's no Jackson State, there'll be no Colorado. So while you have done a lot for me, don't discount what I did for you. Because if I gave you the foundation, don't tell me the house looked good.
Right. A lot of people was upset about what he said about Jackson. You know, me being, I'm not from Jackson, but me going to school there and then part-time, being a part-time resident there, I didn't see anything bad about Jackson. Jackson is to me, Jackson is the city where when I get 60 years old, I would retire. I would retire in Jackson. You know why? I don't know, because it's not. It's not a real big city. It ain't too big. It ain't too small. But it's there. Is people love you when you there. And people will tell you about yourself if you're wrong. So, I want to make sure everybody's still on. You still there, Mr. Ford?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Oh, okay. I think Mr. Cameron jumped out for a second. But that's why a lot of people was upset because what he said about Jackson. Like, Jackson been your home for almost 3 years. And for you to just discount the city of Jackson like that was, like I said, that was bad. But like I said, like I said, he should have. It was a way he could have did it. It should have been done, and that's it. That was it. We had a fun look. We had a fun ride for 2 years, 3 football seasons. And 2 SWAC championships, 2 Celebration Bowl appearances. countless guys, one either making an NFL team or be having a chance to make somebody's team, somebody's league, whether it be NFL, XFL, CFL, USFL, or even, you go to Arena League or you go to the Europe. We had kids that did that during his time. So the question is, like we said, can this renaissance continue? Can we continue this renaissance? And I'm not just speaking on just for Jackson State standpoint. I'm speaking for majority all HBCU standpoints. I'm even talking about North Carolina A&T, Hampton.
Well, let me just say this. I've said this over and over. The President Martin, or Chancellor Martin, Earl Hilton, the athletic director, they basically put North Carolina A&T's athletic department in a ditch. And until the alums come together and get it out the ditch, it's going to stay in a ditch.
Well, they always they playing for playoffs. I mean, then can we get to where we get that renaissance to back to the CIAA and the SIAC?
Yeah, I think so.
With these up and coming coaches coming up that we have in these conferences at these schools, because for us to be for HBCUs to be competitive, like on all levels, we need those CIAA schools and the SIAC schools to be, you know what I'm saying? We need those schools to be dominant. We have to have those schools to be dominant.
I got the feeling because of that win at the Celebration Bowl, I'm looking for North Carolina Central's enrollment to go over 10,000. I think they become that popular just because they won that Celebration Bowl.
Right. North A&T has not hired a new coach yet. I don't know if they'll hire one to after Christmas. Because
I hope that Cornell Maynard don't let them trick him off up there, because they said that's who the alums want.
Nah.
But the administration is not. They want somebody else. Because I'm telling you, you got to play Villanova. You got to play Delaware. You talking about North Carolina A&T spending $16 million on sports, Villanova spending $58 million on sports, Delaware spending $40 million on sports. That's a big difference.
Delaware is the flagship. Well, Delaware is the flagship school of the state. There's only two of them.
Right.
Delaware State. Maynard ain't gonna lead Alabama A&M. They just signed him to an extension, so he gonna be in Huntsville for a little while.
Well, that's a good move for them. That's why I was telling you, Dr. Williams and Dr. Ross, those people are committed to the SWAC. It's just that I don't think the majority of those presidents are committed to the SWAC. I really don't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know about they should. A&T should be ashamed of themselves because the thing about it is that if you were gonna let Stan Washington go, I would have did it the Monday after you lost to Gardner Webb.
Well, let me just say this though, Doc. They're gonna let a lot of coaches go because that's not. Listen, I'm gonna say it again. The A&T program is in a hole, and Earl Hilton, whoever he picks, they'll be fired in the next 2 or 3 years. That's why I hope Maynard's smart enough not to lead the SWAC. Don't go up there and get in that hole because they're in a hole. Now, Gibbs might go back up there. I'm waiting to see, but I'm just telling you, Earl Hilton and Chancellor Martin put that athletic program in a hole by snatching them out of the MEAC. You put them in the Big South for 1 or 2 years. Now you're putting them in the CAA. Listen,
Yep.
That's a hard road to toe. You don't have the money those people got. They're going to end up like Tennessee State. Every 2 and 3 years, they firing a coach. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
I mean,
There you go,
they had
Imperial Nubia. You absolutely right. His name is Earl Hilton.
I like Shell asked me, who do you think to be a good head coach for Valley? Right now, if I'm Mississippi Valley, the coach you name, I think it's either Gonzalez or Rodriguez. He's the defensive coordinator for the team. You have him as an interim head coach. I would keep him as an interim until you either if he does good this season, you elevate him up to a head coach, or B, find you a head coach. But we don't know. I wouldn't know who be good for that Valley job.
Hey, this guy right here says, sounds like HBCUs need to wash more cars and fry more fish. Oh, you're an unpaid comedian and you're not good either. Yeah. I hear you. I see what you say. Yeah. So, yeah. Okay.
I would say James Harris said Ashley Ambrose. Ashley Ambrose might be good, but do he want to, whatever he's doing, does he wants to leave whatever he's doing, and if he's making a good amount of money to go to Valley, to go back to Valley, to where even though he did graduate from Valley, he played at Valley, to go back there to be a head coach and not get all the necessary resources that you can get.
Well, I think they should have just asked who. Okay, Dancer was building something. You won some games. Why didn't you go to confer with him and who's the next in line on the staff? Is it the offense coordinator? Is the guy you said the defense coordinator? But how it went in?
The defensive coordinator he's the interim head coach right now.
Okay. Well, I would stay with him.
That's what I said. I would rather stay with him and see what he does in the fall, and see what he does as far as with signing day and stuff like that. And then, like you said, if he wins games, then you elevate him. You know what I'm saying? You take the interim tag off and you elevate him. Because that's the same thing that you did with Vincent Dancy, with Coach Dancy. He was an interim coach.
He was the coordinator on the comedy.
Right. And he basically held the ship together, and you took the tag off of him, and he was the head coach from the time Comedy got fired.
Okay, this guy says right here, Unstoppable 25. What about the coach at Benedict? Listen, that guy Benedict, man, he's in an ideal situation. He's in Columbia, South Carolina. The president and the AD, but whatever he wants, they trying to get it for him. I got some friends up there in Columbia. They liking this Chennis Berry guy. And whatever he wants, they trying to get it for him.
It said, who will be the next head coach of Bethune-Cookman? I'm going to be said on the real. I do not know who's going to be the head coach for Bethune. Because
they got a lot of issues down there. They got money problems. They got power problems. They got a lot of issues.
Here's my thing. You got your AD, who's also your head basketball coach. Now, the school already slashed the budget, and this is coming from guy HBCU Band Talk. He said that the board of trustees does slash the budget. They kind of, I don't know. They in limbo, but they in limbo. But Kevin Sumlin, I would say he can do something, because you don't really have to pay him, because he's still getting money from Arizona and Texas A&M.
But does he want to come? You said to come to Valley or to come to Bethune?
Do you want to go to Valley? You want to go to Bethune?
The good thing about Bethune, that's one of the best beach areas in the country, isn't it? That Daytona Beach.
Mm-hmm. Then you got What's another opening? You said Tuskegee gonna have an opening, right?
Well, they've already got their person. It's going to be the offense coordinator. That was already
that's
determined
right there. Pine Bluff is either I'm looking between either the offensive coordinator from FAM, Joseph Henry.
Well, what about listen? What about just keep the same staff at Bethune-Cookman and pick one of the people there to be the head coach? What you think about that? I mean, if they got all these money problems, just look at the staff. Okay, would you pick the running back coach to be Carl Franks? He at one time he was a coach in the ACC.
Mm-hmm.
Would you bring in Alan Suber? I don't know where Alan is right now. Or would you bring Alan Suber to the school to be the head coach? But it's got to be somebody that's kind of vested in that, in that community. They need somebody that's kind of already there.
Right. So my thing about it is that whoever is going to be the coach, like, just name somebody that's still on the staff for interim coach for Bethune. So
that's what I'm thinking. You got Carl Frank, like I said, he at one time, I think he was a head coach at Duke. You could bring in Alan Suber. That's his school. He was a superstar there at Bethune-Cookman. He's one of their all-time greats. He's a good man. Okay, somebody said Raymond Woody. He's a Bethune-Cookman graduate. It says BCC has a long history of dual coaches. Cy McLaren. Yeah, I remember Cy. Was that when I was in school in the 80s? Yeah, Cy put in about 40, 50 years at coaching. I remember him.
So, I mean, that's a lot of things for Bethune they can actually do. I'll just basically just get an interim coach in right now, just off the staff. Get you a stopgap. That way you can get your recruits in. That way you can have some stability with your football team. Because now it's the word on the street that I've been looking on Twitter that some kids from Bethune have been talking about getting into that portal.
Yeah, it's a number of them in the portal. I saw it today.
Yeah, and they've been talking to Kamari Everett. Even though he's going to the league, he's like, if they're not doing anything right now, then go into the portal.
Yeah, I did see a number of people from Bethune. Yeah. So well, Doc, I'm gonna get ready to get in this bed. Listen,
all right now.
Enjoyed it, and y'all have a great night, okay?
All right. Thank you, Mr. Ford.
Okay. When are you coming back again?
Probably tomorrow.
Okay, tomorrow night?
Because I'm trying to think of some more ideas. Miss Mo gave me some ideas to do. Trying to see what I can do tomorrow.
Well, you know that it's signing day tomorrow, so all the high school kids.
That'll be the best thing. Yeah, that's the thing I'm gonna do. It's gonna be.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about the signings that I hear about. Okay, well, have a good night.
You too, sir.
All right, bye.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, y'all got me tripping. I forgot about signing day being tomorrow. So if you got me on Twitter, just hit me up. I'll probably be looking at a lot of stuff as far as for signing day going on. Also, I'll probably will be on tomorrow night to discuss the early signing period and see who we got coming in. Still look at the transfer portal because I look at that every 2 or 3 hours through either On3 or 24/7 Sports. What's going on, Val? So that's what I'll be doing tomorrow. We'll be doing the signing day period because I've been busting my butt as far as being at work and stuff. So and being management and stuff like that. So I'm trying to get all this stuff going on. Hey, let's make sure we get the likes up for the channel. get the like sub for the stream. Helps out the algorithm. Make sure you become a subscriber. Make sure y'all become a subscriber. It's 145 people that's watching this right now. We are at, let me check and see where we at, man, because we are at 69. We need 31 more likes to get to 100. 31 more likes to get to 100. We need 12 more to get to 850 for subscribers. Hey, let's get that up. And also, man, if you want to donate to the channel, I do have it pinned in the we do have it pinned in the chat where you could donate to to the channel. But yeah, 24/7, yeah, it is faster than on 3. So I'm gonna be real with I'll be real. I'm trying to make sure we trying to get all this going on and stuff like that. Mo, I thank you for with the donation from Saturday that helped out. So I put that in a little small fund as far as not being touched. That way I could get, trying to get another camera or something, any kind of equipment that goes to help with the, the channel and stuff like that. So I'm trying to, we working out here, dog. We working out here. We is working out here. We are at 8:39. I told you, look, I told you I'm trying to work out here, y'all. Y'all think I'm playing. Come on now. It's like church. You know how it is at church when the pastor say we ain't finished preaching yet, or we ain't got to our goal yet. We probably need to be like that. I don't want to preach because I'm a preacher's kid, y'all. I'm gonna just let y'all know. I'll just let y'all know. But look, on the real, this Renaissance, dog. This Renaissance can still go on if we bring the right people. We bring the right kids in. We have the right people running the show. We have the right administration that is going to be able to so I'm gonna just put it just like that, support. So we trying to get this going. So yeah, if you want to, man, look, we send $5. If you can send cash out $5, it's 120. It's 115 people in the chat that's watching this. 12 people saying $5 each. Man, we can get this thing going. We trying to get this. Hey, Israel, just like that. This shit don't stop. That's it. It don't stop. It don't stop. It don't stop. So yeah, I've been in contact with kids have been in contact with me about going to certain schools, i.e. Jackson State. But I can't give no names because I don't want to mess anything up from hopefully tomorrow, if how I spent my last cash out, bro. Man, I actually spent it on cigars for my birthday. I remember that. Yeah, I had bought some cigars. Now I am a big cigar connoisseur when it comes to anything as far as presents go. I'm a big cigar connoisseur. So but yeah, we I might have a guest on the show tomorrow night. I might have a guest on the show tomorrow night when I get off of work. I'm gonna keep in contact with him. He's gonna let me know what's up. And then I should be able to have somebody else on the show tomorrow night too. I think he is going to be signing early also, and also they're going to be looking out for on Mr. Guthrie from Delaware State and see what he's going to be doing, where he's going. So I'm actually gonna be doing some working over here. Gonna be doing some work over here, y'all, because like I said, one person he'll hit me up tomorrow. And another person he sent me his stuff. In fact, he was one of the kids that they took the commitment from. He was committed to Colorado. So he is basically looking for a home. So, you know, I did the best what I can do. Have I looked into recruiting tools? No, man, Sean. Look, I would love to be doing looking at recruiting stuff, man, because I really want to do that. Yeah, we need yes, man. We need 1,000 subscribers before January the 1st. We need 1,000 subscribers before New Year's. Also, let me see. Make sure y'all send some encouraging words to Hayden Hagler. Like I said, we you know, we can be fans, but you don't have to be brutal because, in a sense, y'all got to remember he's still a kid. Oh yeah, I seen that, Mr. Campbell. Yeah, Debo went back to school, went back to Jackson State. Yeah, I seen that. Kevin Wiggins is out of the portal. Evan Henry is out of the portal. So I'm looking at a lot of kids that might be, like I said, like Mr. Ford said, be able to come back because TC and Coach O is actually talking to them and the parents to let them know how this, how it goes about. And yeah, Ms. Lamb, that's true. There's some kids in rural areas that got talent. They just don't know where to go. Yep. Yeah, hey, if you're a Jackson State fan like me, y'all need to go into the thing, hit him up on Instagram or hit him up on Twitter. Wherever he gets his social media from, and let him know we want him to stay. We need him to stay. So like we need him to stay where he at. Savion, I think Savion is still at school, so we should be fine with Savion. Say it goes by Christian Kicker. He's here to come here, check out his YouTube. All right, bro. All right, I'm gonna check him out. I'm gonna check him out. What? $600 million emergency federal funds for its water system, according to Senator Wick. That's great. That is great. That is a good thing to hear for Jackson, for the city of Jackson. Not just Jackson State, but for the city of Jackson. Get all these problems fixed. Get all these problems fixed, y'all. That's my whole thing. We get all these problems fixed, then they will fix. It will be able to fix itself. So we need to get this going. We need to get that. Make sure that they on top of it. Make sure they stay on top of it. We have 113 people in here. Make sure y'all donate to the Cash App. Also, make sure you hit that like button for that algorithm, and make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, y'all. But I'm gonna be real with everybody. Like I said, tomorrow I will be checking up on recruiting. So that's something that we're gonna be looking at. Okay. How Mrs. Diva, tell me how I need to do that, because I don't know if I could do that yet. Let me see. Let me see if I can do that. Okay, you said settings. Let me go to my settings, y'all. Well, I'm still hey, I get on the job training. All right. Live chat. Is it, let's see, notifications. All right, let me hold on. Okay, I'm about to be in my YouTube studio. Look, it's crazy. I'm getting on the job training on my own show. I don't even mind that because I like it. All right. All right. So you said look in the chat. So I'm in YouTube studio setting. Channel. Community. All right. I'm just trying to, let's see. Live chat option. Let me see. Let me see something. I'm gonna turn this down. But yeah, while we doing all this right here, oh man, we just while we doing this all here, we just need to basically make sure that we are in we are have the ability to make sure we can come up with some sort of collective, some sort of anything to basically so Community moderation. Yeah, let me see, Sean. I'm doing my live from I do mine's on StreamYard, so let me see something, y'all. I'm still learning, y'all. I'm up on YouTube, bro. Let's see, live chat. Whew. I don't know. I'm gonna try to. I'm gonna figure this out. One figure this out. Yeah, man. 100. Yes, it is. 5 more likes to get to 100, y'all. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. 5 more likes to get to 100. Thank you for the donation, man. Thank you for the donation. Much love. Much love. Thank you for the donation, man. All right. Yeah. Thank you for the donation, man. Make sure y'all invite a friend to subscribe, man. Hey, look, I told y'all we doing big things out here. Y'all don't know that. Y'all didn't know. Y'all didn't know. We need 2 more subscribers, y'all, to get to 100. Oh, excuse me, y'all. Oh, excuse me. All right. I'm about to look at this right here while y'all do this. Change the subscription privacy settings. Sign in to YouTube on the computer, top right hand corner, click your profile, click on settings. Okay. Bet. 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 Man. don't want. Let me see. Hold on. I'm gonna read this shit again. Left hand menu. Select privacy. Okay, I see it. Got it. Oh, got it, y'all. We are good. We are good to go, y'all. We are good to go. All right. We are good to go. It's all private. All right. Echo. But yeah, man, it's been a good day, y'all. It's been a good day. I had all my rest today. So guess what? Cause we're gonna be back on this thing. Same thing tomorrow. Same time tomorrow. Probably about 8:30. I'm gonna do it 8:30 tomorrow night. But so we gonna be good tomorrow, y'all. I think we at 100. Are we at 100 subscribers now? Make sure we at 100. We still at 98. We need 2 more subscribers. Oh, can we get one more? Can we get one more like? One more like. Can we get one more like? Can we get one more person? Can we get one more like? Can we get 2 more likes? Can we get another $10, $20 donated for the channel? We at 100. We at 100 now. All right. We at 100. Boy, made me feel like I'm in church, y'all. And I say, we got to get the money for the building fund. So we got to get the money for the HBCU OverDrive fund. It goes towards soundboard. It goes towards a new laptop. It goes towards a new camera. It goes towards a green screen. It goes towards anything that does with the channel. It goes towards you because I bring it to you. I bring everything to you. Y'all just don't know. Y'all just don't know. Oh, y'all, I need an organ, y'all. I need an organ. I need an organ. I need an organ. I'm a dang old fool, y'all. That is true. But hey, I don't care about no voice coach, bro. I'm a Texas boy. I'm a Southern boy all day through and through, man. It's all good. It's all good. Thank you, Miss Lynn. Thank you. No, I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. Like I said, tomorrow night, 8:30, we'll be back here to give updates on early signing day tomorrow. All right. Make sure you come back tomorrow night, 8:30, for early signing day. For the early signing day predictions and who's signing, and maybe, like I said, who I can bring in on the show as far as for an interview. You never know. You never know what we got going on over here. But I thank y'all for rocking with me. I thank you for being on here, Sean. I'm gonna need you to come on here with me, bro, so we could talk all these early signing recruits, man. AP, yeah, you my hey, thank you. I'm everybody's favorite channel now. You know, I ain't got the flash, I ain't got the big type, I ain't got none of that stuff right there. I just do everything from the hip, shoot from the hip, y'all. That's just how I am. Y'all, I'm gonna be real honest with you. That's how I am. I've always been like this. It's crazy because hold on. I don't know. I might start crying because my grandma used to tell me. My grandma used to tell me everything that she would see me do when I was little. You know, like being by myself, reading a whole encyclopedia. No matter what it is, I'm reading from A to Z. Um, even when it comes to talking about sports or even writing about sports, she saw something in me, and you know, this is something that I could tell her that, you know, if she was still here, she was still alive, that this is mine, and I did it from my own, and I did it from the ground up, and the best thing she would tell me is that she say, David Earl, she said, your daddy would be real proud of you if he was still here. And I just want to let everybody know, like, it sucks right now because tomorrow is my father's birthday, and he would have been 62 tomorrow. He would have been. My father would have been 62 tomorrow, but the Lord told him that he needed to come up there to fix heaven's engine, because my father was a mechanic, and damn good one too. Damn good. My dad was a damn good mechanic and a damn good person too. And on certain things I talk about is like I come up with this. I have passion for it. And as even when my wife would tell me, like, you got so much passion, you got so much knowledge for it. Don't never let nobody take that away from you. So this is mine. This is my podcast where I started from recording on my phone, pre-recorded stuff about different things, mental health, the Uvalde shooting, FAMU going to Paris, try to do a top 20 countdown for HBCU bands. I haven't even finished it yet, and I'm gonna finish it, and then go all the way to going live, being live every day, almost every day. I sacrifice a lot. I sacrifice a lot. I go to work. I take care of my house. I take care of my youngest baby that's with my ex-wife. I take care of my stepdaughter that's all the way in California. I take care of my oldest daughter that stays in Arlington and make sure she have what she needs. I'm trying to be a mentor to 3 boys in this household, and I give my all. And I'm being real. I be real selfish towards my wife, and I shouldn't be like that, y'all. I shouldn't be like that. Sometimes it happens, but I shouldn't be like that. But I did this. It's mine. Y'all know I got something that I could say. I could tell people that this is mine. I built this. I had help, I have a little help along the way. But all the stuff that I did as far as going on and videoing and recording and going on live and and taking my bumps and bruises, I built this by myself. I built this. It's just a blessing. It's a blessing that I had this right here. My wife don't have a cash out, Miss Mo. She gets it through me, and I basically Apple Pay to her, but we both share my cash out. But I'm gonna tell everybody this, y'all. I don't really tell nobody this. I don't get into stuff like this because people say you don't need to tell your business all the time. But I'm not the type of person that's like that. I'm always going to be able to try to be open and honest with people and stuff like that. So at one point in time, I'm gonna just be real honest with y'all, man. When my father passed, I was 9 years old. And when he passed, it hurt. It hurt me to the core, to the point where I had started contemplating suicide when I was 10. Because, like I said, that was my hero. That's my partner. You know what I'm saying? My daddy was everything. You couldn't tell me about my daddy. Like, my daddy was everything to me. Like, my mama could be mad at me. I'd be like, shit, I'd rather go to my daddy's house. Over to my granny, over to his mom, my granny, over to their house, because I just want to be, I just want to be around my father. And thank you, Mo. And and so when he passed, like it left the void in me, and it ate me up inside. And I took that along with me when I went to Jackson State in '97. I didn't even tell none of my close best friends that I'm since we was freshmen, 25 years, that I was going through depression and having suicide thoughts and stuff like that. I ain't tell nobody that. I went through all of that. I kept it in. I kept everything in. Like, just I didn't want nobody to know. And I tell people, sure, there was one point in time when I was in school, when I was in Jackson, I was homeless. I was living out of my car. I was living out of my car. I was like, you know what I'm saying? I had to do what I had to do, but I was living out of my car and going from place to place. Going from place to place to do this and do that, so I could just lay my head. That way I could have somewhere to lay my head, take a shower, brush my teeth, and then get on to school, and then probably have to do the same thing all over again. Like I did all that. And so I don't really tell people this story right here. But I left Jackson and I came back home, helped my grandma out, and basically thought everything was fine. And I don't know, just one day out of the blue, I was talking to my best friend when I got back home. She's been my best friend. She's been my best friend for 20 years. And she heard me on the phone, and I was driving, and I was trying to run myself off the road. And it's something like it's like that whole void, you know, it ate me up as far as me losing my father. Like it ate me up to the core. And then to the fact that I ended up in psychiatric ward for 5 days. Like I didn't even have dreads. I had an afro. I when I was in there, I was looking a mess. I was terrible, y'all. I was terrible. But you know, it took me a long time to try to let go and let God give, you know what I'm saying, make sure that I would be able to forgive my father, or you know what I'm saying, or even talk to him, because you know, I was 9 at the time he died, but I was living in California. My father died here in Texas. My father died saving my uncle in Lake Whitney. They both drowned. And it you know, it sucks. It sucks just to hear that. It sucks just to hear that. And it's like, man, this is, you know, it's crazy when I heard that. But finally, it was crazy. Finally, for last year, for Father's Day, me and my wife, she was my wife then, she my fiance, we went to my father's grave in Kilgore, Texas, East Texas. So I got East Texas ties too. And I just let it all out and told him, you know, like, man, look, if you were here, you would love your grandkids, you would love how I am, and what's going on with me and everybody in the family and stuff like that. You will love it. But you're not here, but we could tell you. And so we're gonna try to do some for him tomorrow. Trying to do a little bit of something for him tomorrow, because you know that he was my guy, and it would, like I said, his birthday is tomorrow, so he would have been 62 tomorrow. And yeah. I just had to let that out, y'all. I just had to let that out. Yeah. It was I just had to let it out. But so like I said, man, look, I worked, you know what I said, I just worked my butt on here. I worked my butt off on here, and look where it got me. Look where, just saying, look where it got me. Look where look where it got us over here. It got us it came a long way. I'm talking about, this is 130 shows, videos I done did. It came a long way, y'all. It came a long way. Oh, come on, y'all. We need 3 more. We need 3 more subscribers to get 850 people, man. Come on now. Yeah, man. My daddy, you know, and it's funny, and it's the crazy thing is I'm named after my father, y'all. My father's name is David Earl. David Earl Douglas. And then yeah, I'm named after my father. I don't even tell nobody my government name, but y'all know it now. And, yeah, that is true. That's true. Uh, sometimes people just don't know what people got going on, and that's the reason why I also want to make sure that we put lay hands on Hayden Hagler, because like I said, he's still a kid. Even though he's 21 years old, he don't have his life all together, y'all. He's still a kid here in college. So I'm just saying that's something that especially listen to what his mom said, that a lot of his siblings lost their lives to suicide and stuff. Yeah, send prayers for him, and man, baby, you said prayers for me. Sure, I don't. It's cool. It's good with me. But I'm gonna get off the string, y'all. We got some, like I said, we got some stuff coming up. Tomorrow is early Sunday, so we're gonna get into coverage on that. Also, Thursday, I don't know what I'm gonna be doing Thursday. I know I just got a lot of work to do Thursday at the shop, at the store. Um, Friday, man, Friday and Saturday. Just don't even look for me to be on the stream unless I get on the stream Saturday night, Saturday afternoon, uh, just to say what's up, kind of see where we at. We could talk about anything. Just what I'm saying, just kick it and stuff like that. And then Sunday is Christmas Day, and I hope everybody have a lovely Christmas day. I hope everybody is safe. Oh yeah, for all my people that's up in the Midwest, up north, and on the East Coast, y'all make sure y'all hunker down. Make sure y'all get warm. Make sure y'all stay safe, because this what they call a cyclone. It is not nothing to be played with, y'all. So it is nothing to be played with. So y'all make sure y'all stay warm. Make sure you turn your faucets on to keep the water running, get a little drip going, open up the cabinets so that way your pipes won't freeze. Um, um, if you're gonna be snowed in, make sure if you got an extra generator, get you a generator. Um, just make sure y'all take heed of the weather this weekend, y'all, because starting on for us here in Dallas, starting on Thursday, that's it. That's something that's supposed to go down to 11 degrees. Yeah, people in Texas don't do 11 degrees. We seen that last year. We seen that last year with that snowstorm that we had down here last year. No, we don't do that. We don't do teens. We don't do zero. We don't do negative nothing here. um, but yeah, man. Y'all make sure y'all take care of yourselves for this weekend. If you got to go somewhere, make sure you go to where you need to go and go back home. If you don't need to go nowhere, stay your ass in the house. All right. That's if anybody's getting snow and ice and anything. We just getting cold here. We getting that hawk coming down this way. But if you getting that snow and ice and any type of bad weather wherever you at, stay your ass at the house. Stay ass at the house. You got food, you got clothing, you got warmth, you got everything. Stay ass at the house. All right. But uh But like I said, Cash App is still going. We still going strong as far as donating. Make sure you donate to the channel. And y'all make sure you get people to share this stream, and get people to subscribe to the stream. We trying to get, like I said, we trying to get to 1,000. We at almost at 850 right now. We trying to get to 1,000. Trying to get to 1,000 before New Year's. And my moderators are on it. My moderators are on it, and we're gonna be on it for tomorrow, y'all. So make sure tomorrow, early sign of day. All right, we're gonna cover that tomorrow. Tomorrow night when I get off and come back in the house. All right. But again, I'm your boy Doc Holiday. This is another HBCU OverDrive live show where HBCUs matter. If you haven't done it by now, make sure that you like the stream for the algorithm so we can get this thing going. Make sure you comment. Comments are always good because I always keep reading. I always read them every day, all day. Doesn't matter where I'm at. And share it with your people. Share it with anybody that you know that is genuine, that knows that they love HBCU sports and the culture. And also make sure that they subscribe. Make sure you tell people to subscribe and hit that notification bell to get everything HBCU OverDrive. All right. But in the meantime, between time, y'all be easy. Y'all stay safe. Y'all stay blessed. Y'all stay dangerous. That's all I got to say. Peace.